good this side, but the signal isn't brilliant. So I need to go to a better site. I've been uploading a 2.5 gigabyte film for an hour. Anyway, let's start at the beginning. Now, as I said in a little video I made yesterday, I think, I can't remember. So who are you? Well, apart from having been for 20 years involved in causes, not full-time continually, because you have to have a break from them, but not that many real breaks. Somebody who's lived more or less like this for 5 of the last 13 years. But I gotta say, this morning I've reached total Zen organised point. You see, the kind of society we have now, people don't even take in. And this is people you kind of know, you encounter. That's funny. That's the first car of the day coming up here. They don't even ask a sort of clear, simple picture of who you are. I mean, that is just a pandemic of total and utter narcissism. Anyway, if someone were to ask me what I am, well, it's very important to me. There's only one thing that's important to me. I'm down-to-earth, practical, organised, totally bulletproof, and I've been tested. And also, every morning wake up happily, because I've ended up spending 95% of the last 25 years in very rural spots, and I just go off into the countryside to get my to always retain my balance. But 20 years prior, all sorts of travelling around the world, being in all sorts of places, but I was brought up not really by my parents, but in terrain such as this. I spent my 10 to 18. Anyway, and that's where you learn just balance and wholesomeness. Anyway, but who are you? Now, I don't want to be ever stereotyped or even thought of as some sensitive. I know true creativity and true poetry, but I don't want to be stereotyped as some nervy, up all night person writing or whatever. I get up at 5 o'clock this morning, 5:15. Anyway, people, that intimidates people, right? So I became, gradually over the last decade, much more of a writer, poet, really important to me. Poet, proper poet, gypsy soul poet, but also quite cutting-edge, thoughtful stuff, and making a bit of, well, I don't like, the thing I don't like to be associated with is technology, because I keep technology, I have a lot of technology in this vehicle, most of it breaking, that I'm continually repairing. That's the Zen. But a bit of recording of this, that and the other, capturing, chronicling with the technology. And that's it. 2/3 of my time out in the environment. Particularly past 50, you have to keep this body going out there. And 1/3 of the time really getting my head into trying to be usefully creative for the future. But you see, people don't ask, well, who are you? Who are you? No. it just so happens, reluctantly, most reluctantly, for 10 or 15 years, let's just use the word voluntary, but it's a total vocation. I would put my soul into it. Family and personal law legal top expert, giving up because nobody in Britain can listen. I know that. Don't even blame them. But for the little people, and I only took that role on gradually because it quite innocently, no, innocently it is the wrong word. It gives it kind of implies something. No, just out of the blue, randomly, I had to defend myself. But I'm one of 2, 3, 4 million people with stupid, antagonistic, legalistic, litigious, ex-partners that then the state just eats them up. They use any minor conflict, the state, the system, the vested interest, the beast. I call it the monolith. Yeah, I gradually taught myself entirely. I don't even have A-levels. I taught myself that only to defend myself. Only. So, there we go. New start day.